And welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now, more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Now, for the rest of the week, we're going to concentrate on three very crucial by-elections that are coming up on the 20th of September, namely Starehe, Makadara, and Juja. And the candidates are out there campaigning, doing their thing, trying to convince you, the voters. So we're going to try and get as many of them as we can on the bench. Those who want to come will come. Those who don't, well, that's their problem. The bench moves on. So, without wasting time, let's go straight into Starehe, where we're sitting right now. Actually, the Norfolk is part of Starehe constituency. And the bishop, yes, right, the one who was there in the seat for about 2.5 years, and then it was nullified, and she's gone back to the drawing board, and she says she's going to win. She speaks to God directly. Maybe God has told her. Let's ask. Jesus is Alive Ministries Bishop, former Housing Assistant Secretary, Minister, and also former Member of Parliament for Starehe. But she says she's coming back. Bishop Margaret Wanjiru. Bishop.
Yes.
Welcome to the bench.
Thank you.
In your constituency.
Yes.
We're sitting in Starehe.
Welcome on board. We're in Starehe right now. Yeah.
Bishop, were you surprised when the court nullified that election in Starehe?
No, I was not surprised because that was the better way to go. For somebody to sit in court and think that he'll be given a free seat, it was unacceptable to us. And so our argument was that cannot happen. And for the judge to rule 38, let's say out of about 41 pages of ruling, 38 and a half, almost 39 pages were in our favor. The judge did acquit me of all the allegations that were said about me. I don't know we bribed, I don't know we stole from who. The judge said those things never happened. So that was a good thing for me. But the judge said, since we are not clear of what happened post-election, so go back to election. Now that's good. There are some things, Jeff, that you must bring to an end. There are chapters that you must close. And the Starehe elections is a chapter that we would like to close. Hoping that, because also sometimes you are dealing with people who are never satisfied with whatsoever results, with whatsoever margin of winning, that there are some people in this country that never accept that they lose. So they will never accept it. Yeah. So hoping that this time around, if they do lose, they will accept it.
But you're not discouraged at all, Bishop.
I'm not discouraged. Apparently, I'm very happy. I'm very happy because we spent 2.5 years in court. When I was vying in 2007, I promised my people development, which I have delivered, at least some of the things that I promised. However, my promise was not that I'll spend most of the time in court. That was not part of my agenda. My agenda was that I'm coming to Parliament to help the people of Starehe to develop their lives and to just create wealth for the people of Starehe, because we have a lot of poverty in Starehe. And we had an agenda. So for us to spend 2.5 years in court was really a waste of time. And for us to cut out that wastage, let's go back for a by-election.
Yeah. Starehe, you just mentioned, Bishop, that there's so much poverty in Starehe.
There is so much poverty.
Right in the middle of the city.
Yes, there is so much poverty. One day in 2007, as we were doing campaigns, some youth called me and said, come, but now use the other entrance, the Madare Kosovo entrance. And I went there in the slums, and as we were talking, they told me where to stand so as to speak to everybody who was, a higher stage where you can speak to everyone. Everyone can see when you are speaking. I was wearing open shoes. So I went and stood up there, and I didn't know what I was stepping on. But I could feel my shoes are sinking down, my legs are getting wet, but I don't want to ask, what are we doing here? Yeah. And since it was a little bit rainy, I thought it's the rain, maybe I'm stepping on some wet grass. What I didn't know is that when people go to the toilet, they use the paper bags as a flying toilet. Yes. So then they roll it like this and they throw, and that was the place where they throw.
That's where you were standing?
That's where I was standing. So when I finished, as my youth were escorting me to the car, I said to one of them, a close friend of mine, he's called Jemo. I said, Jemo, sasa na nyinyi miguu yangu imekuwa wet, nilikuwa nakanyanga nini hapo? Wakaniambia, hata tusikuambie. Najua kwa tunanga choo. Hapo ndio tunapanga kila kitu. Really, that touched my heart. And I made a promise in Madare. I made a promise to the people all over the slums that my #1 agenda will be to build toilets, to build bathrooms, washing bays for mothers where they can wash their clothes, to give them sanitation blocks that can even provide security lights and provide water points for the whole village.
Are you doing that, Bishop?
Oh, yes, I've done that. I have 12 projects going on right now, and some of them are already complete and in use. I've already done that, Jeff, despite the 2.5 years. Very stressful in court, consuming a lot of time. Sometimes you go to court the whole day, but I still had time to work for the people, and we have implemented, out of 15 projects, we have implemented 12 sanitation blocks. Some of them are complete. They are using them. They are very happy. They are, what would I say? They are such a high standard, the way we have built them, that even the people in the slum are looking forward for one day for their houses to look as good as the sanitation blocks.
And let's not forget, Bishop, let's not forget, you come from very humble beginnings, don't you?
I come from poverty. Oh, yes. I was raised up in poverty, so I understand the pains of the people. Unfortunately, in Starehe in the past, we have had members of parliament who were there before me. They could not even go to the slums. They never sort of like created unity with the people of the slums. They did not feel them. They did not know their problems. So they did not have their priorities right. I go to the slums. I walk with these people. I work with them. Mi ushinda huko tunatembea, tunaongea, we do projects together so that I can feel the people. I can know their pain. You cannot deliver somebody from their poverty, from their problems, from their situations if you cannot feel them. It must be something in your heart, not just in your head. Yeah. And I can tell you the struggles, the pain, the poverty, the kind of problems that we go through in Starehe. They are not just in my head, they are in my heart. What
makes you, Bishop, what makes you think that you are the person, the right person for the job?
Because I'm the people's choice. You did not hear me say, I will win a seat. I say we will, because it's me and the people. I know the people's choice. The first day when the court ruling was done, I went to the Ministry of Housing, I went to the office, I had a press conference and finished. And then I thought, let me go pass by the church office and then go home. As I went to the church office, the place was packed. I was shocked. So I was like, mnafanya nini huku? They said, we have come to make sure. You know, in Kikuyu we said, rago wagowa. We have come to make sure, hauanguki, you are not turning back. Tunarudia uchaguzi and you are our chosen candidate. The people were there. I could not disappoint them. So I know I'm the people's choice. This is not about me, it's about us. It's about me and the Starehe people. Number two, am I sure I'm coming back? Because the 2.5 years I've been the MP for Starehe. Before I just came on board, there was a lot of fighting. To use one of the people's terms, he says, Bishop, before you came to Starehe, we knew the price of pangas better than the price of milk and bread. But today, we don't buy pangas. There is so much peace. All communities are living together. All tribes are united. They are working together. Even some markets that were only dominated by one tribe, today they are mingled, they are mixed up. And you can find a lot of peace, a lot of unity in Starehe, something that did not exist before. Even immediately after elections, the post-election was not easy for us. There is one of my favorites. He's a young man. He's a nice, cute Kamba boy. We call him Kanu. Kanu's hand was cut during post-election. And I said to Kanu when we were doing the peace meetings, because we went village to village all over the slums, talking to people, doing peace meetings. I said to Kanu, you're not going to shift. You're not moving from Adare. You're going to live here, and we're going to rebuild your life, and we're going to rebuild the entire community. So we've been talking. Now, these sanitation blocks I'm building, they have 2 shops. After they are complete, they have 2 shops. So those which are complete, I took one of them and I took one of the shops and gave to Kanu. And now we are stocking it for him. And we are saying Kanu is a good example that despite the fact that he does not have his full hand, we are living in peace, we are living in unity, and we are developing each other's lives.
How does he feel about the situation?
He has forgiven everybody. He is at peace with everyone. He's actually one of the, what we call him, the top star of the village. He's loved.
Nika
celebu katika kijiji. We love him. He's a nice kid. Yeah. He's such a nice kid. And it's my responsibility as a leader to just show the people that happened, but it should never happen again. Yeah. And Starehe, we have peace. Unfortunately, some of those people that don't understand the terms of peace. They say, oh, peace has come with the campaigns of yes and no, which is not true. Even before the yes and no, there was peace in Starehe. Peace came with the new elections after 2007.
Yeah. All this construction that's going around in your constituency especially,
Yes.
the bypasses, the roads, all this, is it going to change lives in your constituency?
Yes, it is going to change lives positively, but it's also going to hurt others. So as a leader, I must create a balance. We want the Thika highway. We want the road to be complete, a big plus to our government, to our nation. It's something good. But I also have the challenge of the hawkers. Now we are moving them, the ones who are at Tangara, we have negotiated with the city council, areas where we can move them and they can transact business immediately when it is clear that they must get out of the way. After that, after we move them somewhere temporarily, it means that after the elections, we must find a permanent solution for them. So I'm saying...
Because they're always being moved around,
they've always been moved around, and it is enough. We can't move them around anymore. This time, we must find a permanent solution for the hawkers of this country. We must create modern markets, not just markets, but modern markets. Because nowadays, people don't build wide. We build upwards. Because if you have 1 acre, 5 acres, 15 acres. Like Modurwa, I think it's about 15 acres. 15 acres of land, if you were to build upwards, you could accommodate thousands and thousands and thousands of hawkers. Unfortunately, it was built wide, which is still okay. We can deal with that later. Then there are other areas where markets can be built and all these traders can be accommodated inside there. We don't have to lose them. We don't have to hurt them. We don't have to make them poor. We don't even have to fight them. We just have to facilitate and create a working environment, a working atmosphere for them and give them the sites where they can transact business. Yeah.
Have you consulted God? Because I know you talk to God a lot, Bishop, about this by-election. Is he testing you?
No, he's not.
It's a test, Bishop.
No. God is so faithful. The word of the Lord says he removes the first to establish the second. I mean, if we're going to spend 2.5 years disputing over something, why don't we just repeat and get a clear cut who is the winner here? We don't have to keep on arguing every day. And for me, a by-election, and thank God to IIEC, they put it on 20th of September. Otherwise, we could have been told to come back in December. The sooner, the better. So now, for me, if we have to keep on disputing over something, let's get a clear indication here, a clear understanding. Who is the winner in the Starehe election?
And you're ready to go home if you lose?
If I lose, I shake somebody's hand. But I can tell you I'm not losing. I'm not losing. And I'll tell you why I'm not losing.
Yes.
I have worked. I work with the youth groups. I work with the women groups. I boost their lives. I work with them. The unity in Starehe right now. I do not have discrimination, not even on tribal basis, not even on religious basis. I do not discriminate. I give bursaries. Jeff, in Starehe, we have increased bursaries from 3 million to 7 million. To accommodate for us to be able to educate and pay school fees for more children. Since 2008, when I came in, 2009, and now 2010, we've been giving bursaries and bursaries and bursaries.
Where's the money coming from?
The government, our CDF. It is the way you spend the CDF.
Yes.
If you have good management, you have integrity to be faithful with people's money, with public funds, you will do a good work with the CDF. Nobody should ever lie to you that CDF doesn't function. CDF does a very, very good work. However, we also have bursaries from the Ministry of Education. And we have also college bursaries. And I do also give bursaries myself personally, a lot. I give a lot of bursaries.
Yeah.
I'm a young leader. I brought up my children. They are all educated. I don't have anybody else to educate. Wacha nisomeshe raia. Wacha niwabariki.
Bishop, I want to talk more about that because that's the future.
Yes,
and we have to educate those young men and women.
Yes.
Also, would you like your old job back? Because you were assistant minister for housing, right? Before. If you win, would you want it back?
Yes.
Let's talk about that after the break. The bishop on the bench. I tell you, she's holding nothing back. 2.5 years, she says. She's been in and out of court. It's time to settle this thing once and for all. And she's confident. She says, Starehe is in the bag. Bar none. Wow. Sit back. The bishop is back in a moment. And welcome back to Capital Talk. It's the by-election all of next week. That's right, this week and next week. We're talking to the candidates from Starehe, Makadara and Juja. Kicking it off, the bishop. That's right, the bishop who talks to God. She says Jesus is alive, and her ministry is just that. Jam! We're jamming with the bishop. So, Bishop.
Yep.
Starehe, I mean, at the end of the day, if you can sort out Starehe,
Yes.
you can sort out the city, can't you?
Yes. If I can sort out Starehe, believe you me, I can sort out the city. And I am sorting out Starehe. When I came into Starehe, there were crises. It was a mess. I had, first of all, to sort out the tribal issue so that we don't have people. Believe you me, when I came in, there were lanes. Even within the estates, like Huruma, there was a street called by somebody's name and another street by somebody's name. I had to say, hey guys, this is ungodly. This has never been seen in this country and it should never happen.
And there was no mixing in there.
There was no mixing in there. So what I did is that to make sure today people are so mingled, they're mixed everywhere, they can function and operate together. Hiyo kiosk ni ya Unyango, hiyo ni ya Wanjiko, the other one is for a Luya, the other one is for a Kamba, some Masai somewhere, the Somalis are there, we have the Boranas in Kiamaiko, and we are so united. I want to see that unity continue.
When you walk around Starehe, Bishop, what do the people tell you?
Oh, they're happy. They love touching me, jumping around with me, laughing with me, teasing me. And of course, also, if I do a mistake and I do something wrong, they love telling me, hey, here, we are not happy. So they tell me when they are not happy and I say, okay, we'll correct that. And this is the approach we'll give it. We dialogue, we talk, we agree. And most of all, me and my constituency, we are friends. We are not just MP and people. There is no gap between us. We are friends. I eat with them, I sit with them, we flow together. Now, places like Ziwani, Karioko, those areas we have a problem of water. So we have projects that we have not completed. And the plans for Karioko and Ziwani is that we have applied for facilitation to put 2 boreholes to finish the water problems. Even the primary schools don't have water. So we do the piping and we do 2 boreholes and give water. Ngara, there was no water until we put a borehole in Ngara Girls Secondary School. Today, the girls are very happy in that school and the neighbors there because they use the same water. The Ngara Girls Water Project has become a total success. Then we have the issue of markets. Here in Tsunami Market, people could not even trade. Kulikuwa matope kila mahali. You bring the lorries, they get stuck there. We have done the road. We have built the stalls. We have built a sanitation block for the market. Then go down to the roads. The roads within the slums, they were impassable. You couldn't pass. They were too narrow. Now we have broadened them up, and even matatus are passing within the slums, yes, which is a big plus. Then there were no bridges, and some of the bridges that existed then, they were falling. So even people are passing knowing that that bridge can collapse. And now we are talking about crossing between Nairobi River, this side and the other side. We have built bridges. We are only remaining one, but we have built several bridges from different slums crossing over to the other side. And I think given a record of 2.5 years versus some people that were there before me and they were MP for 10 years.
And they hadn't done these things.
My dear, even the projects they did, they never finished. We had to come and finish them. Huruma Social Hall, I'm the one who has finished it. I'm the one who has finished Huruma Social Hall, state of the art, and now we are busy equipping it with the chairs, whatever else it needs. But the hall is free, it's finished, and the people are already using it. What am I saying? Projects that were started and never finished, and those projects are very few, even compared to what I've done in 2.5 years. And people were there. First of all, as member of parliament, then assistant minister, and also member of parliament and minister. I have only been there for 2.5 years. These people are there 10 years. 2.5 years, I've only been an assistant minister. But look at what God has helped me to do. But why have I done that? Because I've taken the problems of the people as my burden and as my #1 priority. Developing people's lives, developing Starehe constituency is my #1 priority.
But Bishop, you have your own constituency, if you will. You know, this Jesus is Alive Ministries, it's huge. You've got tens of thousands of followers.
Yes.
Why bother yourself with others who, for the most part, don't seem to be very grateful for what you're doing?
#1 is that I love people. My life is about people. Without people, I'm bored. My life is at 0. I love people, and okay, I don't mind the rich and the top cream. Those are okay for socializing. But I love people at their lowest level. People at their lowest level. Even GM, we did not start where we are. We started at the lowest. We started on the streets. And then now we came growing to where we are. And I love God using me to change people's lives, and I watch them. Do you know how many boys are brought out of drugs in Starehe? Out of drugs. Transformed them. You see them today. If I show you video clips for when we were campaigning 2006, 2007, and then you see them today, you'll not believe it. Out of drugs, out of alcohol, out of some situations that they would have never brought themselves out, and I brought them out. Same with single mothers, because we have a lot of single mothers in Starehe. I know when we are talking about single mothers, they're not even my age. They are not middle age. They are small girls. Teenagers. But they're already single mothers. Yeah. So somebody must mentor them. Somebody must show them the way. Somebody must show them, okay, you messed up your life, which I did myself when I was young. You've got a bunch of kids, but that's not the end of life. We can start all over again and build something out of this. Somebody must give them hope, and somebody must show them the way. So for me, GIAM, yes, and GIAM is worldwide, and we have so many churches across the country and the whole nation with evangelism. I love this country of ours. But also, Starehe is my heartbeat. I have actually a program called Starehe Success Story. I'm writing a success story for Starehe. Jeff, don't forget, Starehe is the capital of Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. If you can change people's lives, if you can develop the communities, if you can give people water, sanitation, electricity. I have given people power. You know, electricity. There was a lot of insecurity in Starehe. Today we have put high masts almost everywhere. Everywhere we know women used to be raped here. Everywhere we've built a bridge, we are not leaving that bridge with darkness. We are putting electricity there. We are putting the high mast powers there to give people light. So if you can give people that security, if you can work with the people and develop their lives, I tell you, then you can do everything in this country. And with Starehe is good.
And with the new constitution, or under the new constitution, Bishop, yes, you can have a lot more money at your disposal.
Under the new constitution, if we as government don't cut down the money into small bits, you know, not 2% plus 3 plus, if we say it's 15%, then it's 15% as a wholesome, yeah? If we don't break it into small units, if it's wholesome, then that money will do a lot within the constituencies. But if it's broken down into small units, then we'll have to rethink our strategy. But I do believe it should come wholesale. Now, Starehe as a district, because we also worked during my tenure, 2.5 years, to make sure it becomes a district. As a district, getting 15%, believe you me, tutafanya kazi. Tutajenga mabarabara, tutaweka tarmac, because we have roads that we have applied for tarmac na zijawekwa tarmac. Tutamalizia zile bridge hatujamalizia. Tutamalizia zile kugawa plots. Security of tenure is another issue in Starehe. Watu kujua hii plot niko nayo ni yangu, sitakuja kunyang'anywa tena. So that's something we are working towards. And that is where now my influence comes in, being in the Ministry of Housing. Because in the Ministry of Housing, we work day to day with these people. And once we create security of tenure, then we have to plan. You plan the whole slum, and people can have good housing. In that regard, I would be grateful for that 15%. Ikuja na ikuja haraka.
Na ita transform Starehe kabisa.
Ita transform. Kama tumetumia ile kidogo tumepata ya CDF na tumesaidia watu wengi vile tumesaidia. Hebu imagine tukipata 15%. Tutajenga maisha ya watu, tutamaliza hizi masoko ambao wengine walipewa mahali lakini hawana shade, hawana nini, magarages. Starehe tuko na garage nyingi. So nakumbuka story ya Grogon. Starehe tuko na garage nyingi, hazina shade, haina nini, ni watu tu wanafanyia kazi kwa jua. So we can transform this jua kali sector into a real industry that can generate income, not only for the people, but also for the constituency as a district and for the nation. Yeah.
What is God telling you, Bishop? Let's go back to,
yes,
your basic instinct.
Yes.
Has God told you you're going to win? You talk to him a lot, don't you?
God doesn't have to tell me I'm going to win. God made me win in 2007, don't forget. Regardless of what anybody else says. They can accuse this, they can accuse that. And again, I repeat, some people are never satisfied. There is nothing you can do to make them let go. And I hope this time they will let go. Because they remember the kind of saga they started bringing against me in 2007. They can do that again. Wanajua kupaka matope. Wataandika hii kwa gazeti, watasema hii, watalipa watu wawafanyie hii. Kazi yao ni kupaka watu matope. But me, I'm focusing on my people in Starehe. And those people, together with them, I believe, because you cannot be a leader unless the people make you a leader. I mean, otherwise, who are you leading? And Jeff, I'm not interested in leading people who never elected me. I want to lead people who elect me. I want to lead people who say, you are our choice. And I know in this case, I'm the people's choice.
Is it difficult being a woman in a race dominated by men?
Oh, it is, yeah. Nobody should lie to you that it is easy. It is not. It is difficult. It is difficult, and it is even worse more when you're a single woman. Because they use sex to insult you. They bring some male figure to impose issues on you, and they really pour mud on you. They use love stories. That is all they know. Yeah. I mean, their minds are so filthy, hawana kitu ingine ya kufanya.
Matope.
Matope, kupaka watu matope, kusema sasa because you are a single mother, furthermore you are beautiful, sasa we uko na nani, wanakuwekelea watu wengine hata hujui majina yao. So you don't, yeah, the truth is, you've got to reach a place whereas this kind of sagas and this kind of stories wanakuletea, you are not bothered about them. Yeah. Usitishwe na vile watu wanasema, and especially what your opponents wanasema. Huyu endelea kufanya ile kazi Mungu amekuita kufanya na Mungu atajidhihirisha.
What advice do you give? Because you know that attitude is so positive, Bishop, but not many women can be able to stand what you have been able to stand. What do you tell young women who want to aspire to be like you when they grow up?
I tell the young women, number one, make up your mind to be strong. Strong. Be bold, be courageous. Come rain, come sunshine. Wakikupaka matope, unaenda unaoga, unaendelea. Number two, be a person that has defined yourself. This is my policy. Don't allow people to define you. Don't allow, especially your opponents, to define you. Because if you allow them to define you, and some of them, not everybody is a dirty player, but some of them are literally dirty players. So you know they'll play dirty. Now me, I'm a Christian. I will not play dirty. But if you allow them to define you, you'll be depressed every day, you'll be oppressed by what they are saying, because kazi yao ni kuongea tu maovu na uongo so that they can bring you down. So don't allow them to define you. Define yourself. And once you define yourself, you know who you are. Go for what you want. If you know God is with you, go for it. Don't even turn back. Unawacha wakiongea the Sanballats and Tobias of the Bible. Be like Nehemiah, enda ukajenge. Be like Deborah. While they are still saying a woman cannot deliver a nation, go deliver your people. While they are still saying to Esther, you know, just play the queen and be nice and don't do anything else. And Esther decides, things are going wrong. I've got to rescue this work. And she goes right ahead and rescues an entire nation. I mean, just have a positive attitude and don't listen to the voices of the Jezebels of this world. Be like Elijah. Do what you are called to do while Jezebel is still shouting at the top of her voice or his voice.
But God is telling you, forward ever.
God is with us. I do believe the grace is sufficient. I do believe the glory is here. And I do believe, because the Bible says in Romans chapter 8, after you have suffered, then the glory shall be revealed. I do believe this is the time that God is revealing his glory. Because the 2.5 years in court has not been easy. Especially sitting there when somebody is literally lying, and you can't raise a finger and say, hey man, can't you even be ashamed of what you're saying. So unakati tu pale, unapoa, alafu unamwambia Mungu. Sasa we Mungu, uanze kunitetea. Sasa wacha uone Jeff Mungu akinitetea.
Mkutane kwa debe.
Tukutane kwa debe. 20th of September, yes. Kuanzia saa 12 kabla watu wajaenda kazi. Kila mtu ambaye ana kura ya Starehe, tafadhali unampatia karaoke Margaret Wanjiru.
God bless you, Bishop. Well done.
Thank you.
Good advice for young women. Excellent. Good attitude from the Bishop. Because we are jamming with GM right here. And the Bishop says she's coming back to Starehe. She's going to rebuild it. And she's already started the last 2.5 years. She wants a chance to take it all the way. She says she can do it, regardless of what her opponents say. In court, out of court. She's a strong woman, she says. And she's asking all women to be strong like her. Whoa! Sit back, folks, all this week. Whoever wants to come on and is a contender, come on the bench. If you don't come, well, we can't help you there. Because you cannot find these kinds of guests anywhere else but right here on the bench on the award-winning station, K24, where we are, even in times of Starehe, we are all Kenyan.
All the time.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well done.
Bless you.
Good job. This particular session of Capital Talk was filmed at Fairmont, the Norfolk.